Hey y'all, Tom, ND3N here, just like it says on the hat, and thanks for dropping by my little shack in the corner for a ham shack chat. This is the next in my series on getting the best receive audio on the Yaesu FT-991A. In the previous one, right up there, I discussed working with CW mode. In this video, we'll be looking at getting your best signal on receive in the SSB mode, or modes, I guess. We're going to be looking at menu settings, function settings, and front panel knob adjustments to improve your receive on the fly. So let's go take a look at the menu screen first, followed by the function screen, and then finishing up with those gnarly knobs. I'll be putting a listing of all the settings I discuss down in the description. I will also add chapters, so if you need to review, you won't have to watch the entire video again, but can jump right to the section you're interested in. Menu items 001, 002, and 003 have factory defaults of 300 milliseconds, 700 milliseconds, and 3000 milliseconds respectively. We'll talk more about the auto mode when we get to the functions description, but if you're in auto mode, then LSB, USB, and AM modes will use the AGC slow delay. It is recommended that you keep the factory defaults, but as always, your mileage may vary. You're going to hear that a lot during this video. And go ahead and tweak those AGC settings for your own conditions. Menu items 023, 024, and 025 are useful if you're in a mobile environment and need to get rid of engine and ignition noise. It's used with the noise blanker function that we'll discuss more when we get to the function settings. These three menu items define the noise blanker and can be adjusted to best suit your conditions. Now we're going to take a look at menu items 102, 103, 104, and 105. These items define your band pass frequencies and band edge slopes. These are currently set in what I like to call the Ragchew mode, nearly 3 kilohertz wide with very loose roll-offs on either end. This allows you to hear almost the full range of a human voice, but it comes at the cost of having a wider receive bandwidth, which means more general noise and adjacent frequency interference. For more crowded conditions, such as during a DX pileup, or from what I've heard lately, the Parks on the Air pileups, or if you're in a contest, you'll want to narrow your receive bandwidth down and tighten up those bandwidth slopes. For these times, I recommend setting your low cut frequency to around 400 Hertz and your high cut frequency to around 2400 Hertz. Now, again, your mileage may vary. You want to set both slopes to 18 dB per octave, so it's a sharp cutoff. As always, please adjust for your condition. Menu items 112 and 113 set your contour level and width. In short, the contour filter system provides a gentle suppression or amplification of specific frequencies within your bandpass to enhance the sound and readability of a received signal. My recommendations for these settings is to start with them on the factory default of -15 dB and a 10 Hertz width. Then adjust for your conditions. We'll discuss contour further when we get to the function discussion, and there's a good description on page 50 of your owner's manual. As a matter of fact, just about everything I'm going to talk about in this video is in the owner's manual. It's your friend. Use it. Menu item 114 is the IF notch width, and it is factory set to wide. The IF notch filter is a system that allows cutting out an interfering beat note or adjacent channel interference from inside the received passband. The options for this are wide and narrow. I recommend leaving it in the wide setting, but don't be afraid to switch to narrow if needed. Menu items 115 through 118 are your display settings. Play with them and get them set up the way that it is most useful and I guess attractive to you. And that's the menu settings. Now let's go take a look at the functions that are available with the 991A. We'll assume that you know how to get to the functions menu, and once you're there, go ahead and press your forward and back keys until you see the narrow wide selection in the upper left-hand corner. This is where we'll start going over these settings. Many of these functions will be indicated by the function name in the display just below where your mode is displayed, and shown graphically by a band directly underneath the frequency. You can watch for those as we go through all the functions. Selecting the narrow and wide button will swap you between the narrow and wide selections. This is a one-touch mode-specific selection of a narrow IF DSP filter setting. In the SSB modes, the narrow setting is adjustable between 200 Hz and 1.8 kHz, which is adjusted by using your multi-knob. Now you select the wide in the SSB mode and you can adjust the bandwidth between 1.8 and 3 kHz. This selection is used in conjunction with the width adjustment that we will discuss shortly. The noise blanker can significantly reduce noise caused by automotive ignition systems and is useful if you're using your 991A in a mobile setup. For most times, using it as a base station, you can just leave it to off. The automatic gain control, or AGC, is adjustable between fast, mid, slow, and auto. As we discussed in the menu setting, items 001, 002, and 003 are factory preset, which is the recommended settings, but can be tweaked to suit your own operations. In the SSB mode, selecting auto here will automatically set your AGC in the slow mode. When the desired received frequency is extremely strong or the noise level is very high, you can select ATT for attenuation to reduce your incoming signal by a level of 12 dB. Most other radios I've owned use the term preamp for the IPO, or intercept point optimization. The IPO cycles between IPO, AMP1, and AMP2. In IPO, the RF preamplifier is bypassed, no gain. In AMP1, the incoming signals are amplified using a low distortion RF preamplifier for a gain of approximately 10 dB. And in AMP2, the incoming signals are amplified using a two-stage low distortion preamplifier for an approximate gain of 20 dB. Now, go forward one page in the Functions menu, and we'll start by talking about the notch filter. Selecting notch will toggle between off and a frequency in Hertz. Adjust the frequency using your multi-knob. And dial it to the frequency of your interfering signal within your receiver passband. The Contour Control Filter Systems gives you a gentle change of the IF filter bandpass. The specifics of this change were described in the menu settings and will take some time for you to get good at using. However, once you understand it, it might be a very powerful tool for improving your received signal. In my opinion, this function has a good promise and a really good write-up in the owner's manual and on the Yaesu website. I don't have much of a use for it. Your mileage may vary. Go ahead and play with it. Let me know what you think down in the comments. DNR, for digital noise reduction, is designed to reduce the level of ambient noise on the bands and is especially effective during SSB operations. It uses 15 different noise reduction algorithms which can be selected with the multi-knob, and each one of these algorithms was designed to deal with a different noise profile. Now, here's the kicker. They're not sequential. So you'll have to go through each one to find out what each one does and which is the best for your particular noise profile. So as an example, say you're on number 5 and you think, oh, well, it'll improve with number 6 and get worse with number 4. No, that's not true. The next improvement might be number 12 or go back to number 1. You got to see what's going there. What I would recommend is set it on 1, go to 2. And say, okay, which one of these two is better? If you say 2, then you set it on 2 and go to 3. Is that better or worse? If it's worse, back on 2, then go to 4. And then that'll just a little trick to help you narrow down your selections. The digital notch filter, or DNF, is an effective beat canceling filter that can pull out or null out a number of interfering beat notes inside the receiver passband. This is an auto function and is either on or off. The shift function allows you to shift your bandpass up or down in frequency, which can be helpful in getting rid of adjacent channel noise. The width selection, which is used along with the narrow wide function from the previous page, will adjust your bandpass width to the displayed setting. Finally, let's go over a couple of the knobs on the front of your rig that can help your received signals. The first is the audio frequency gain knob, right down here. It should be obvious, but if your incoming signal is too loud, then turn it down. And if it's too quiet, then turn it up. Keep in mind that when you adjust the volume up or down, not only will your receive signal, the desired signal, be getting louder or quiet.
Nothing especialmente aquele ritmo. Vai tendo ali nos 80, 40. Kilo Echo Fox Lima, SWA6OT. UFL WA6OT, and UNFL, Macarotarn. Ora, o tempinho está primaveril, ok?
The first is your audio frequency gain knob. It should be obvious, but if your incoming signal is too loud, then turn it down. And if it's too quiet, turn it up. Keep in mind that when you adjust the volume up or down, not only will your received signal be getting louder or quieter, but so will the noise floor. Scene 4B2. You can adjust your RF gain knob, which will keep your received signal at the comfortable level that you've set while reducing the ambient noise. Scene 4C2. When you see the green RX right here, then you are in receiver incremental tuning. And conversely, when you don't see the green RX, you're in transmitter incremental tuning. On the receive side, make sure your green RX is turned on and adjust it using the Clarifier knob. This is useful if the incoming signal is slightly off frequency. Your incoming signal will be adjusted up and down in frequency, and your transmit frequency will not change. As you can probably tell by now, getting a good receive audio in the SSB modes can take a lot of fiddling about with the settings and the functions. Truth be told, it's almost an art form. Like any form of art, the more you practice, the better you'll get at it. In this video, I've showed you what's available for you to do, and as you get a little bit more experience with this rig and this mode, you'll find out what you need to do, when you need to do it, and most importantly, how to do it quickly and efficiently. Thanks for dropping by my little shack in the corner for a ham shack chat about improving and hopefully getting your best receive signal on the FT-991A SSB modes. Oh, by the way, while the menu numbers and function locations may have changed, what you've seen in this video might be applied to other Yaesu rigs, particularly what we would call the 991 Slick. If you found this content useful, interesting, or just enjoyed the presentation, please give me a like.
Please like me.
By clicking that thumbs up icon. Please share.
Thank you for sharing
this content with friends in the FT-991A community. Feel free to leave a comment.
Questions? Comments?
With any info that I might have missed. Any questions, suggestions for other videos, or just to say howdy. Finally, please consider subscribing.
Channel guys.
So you'll get notified when I post something new and be able to find all of my content in one convenient spot. As always, I'm at your service. 7-3 until the next Hey Y'all. I'm Tom, ND3N, and I am out.